Okay. So sorry for the technical difficulty. If you want to create a character type of vector, you need to use C function as well as single quotes. So once a single character presents in a vector, it automatically takes the whole vector as a character vector. Let's go into the third type of vectors in R, that is called as the logical vectors. And in C programming, we can create only character type of arrays or numerical type of arrays. Here in R, we can create logical type of vectors. So you know what is a logical value? A logical value may be either true or false. So we can create an array with the values true and false. This is the way of creating a logical vector in R. So I have taken again the C function. I have given it logical value true, logical value false, again logical value in available value there. So I'm creating one logical vector with the logical values. So let me execute this command. So I have created my logical vector, and let me check whether it is a logical vector or not by typing. Let's see here, got it. So we got the type as logical. That means this vector is a logical vector. And we have seen three different types of vector creations in R programming. One is we have created one numerical vector which is of default type double. Whenever you want to convert it into integer type vector, you need to use the character L after every element. When you do like this, then this vector will be converted into type integer. Then we have seen how to create the character vectors. And the third one is we have seen the so let me check what type of vector it will be, right? So this is we have seen the creation of vector can be done by using the C function, right? See here, have created one vector with the C function with value 61, 4, 21, 67, 89, and 2. And I am naming this vector as x. So x is equal to C in double in quotation in round brackets. I have given the values and I am pressing enter. See here, the x vector has created, and now I am going to print this vector. For this printing, I am using a function called as cat, like your printf in C language. I am using cat using C function comma x. That means x vector. So you will get output as using C function 61, 4, 21, 67, 89, and 2. So let's try this command. See here, I got my vector printed on the screen.
స్క్రీన్ షేర్
అయింది కదా, చేసిన ఇందాక ఇర్ఫాన్ చూపించా స్క్రీన్ షేర్ అయిందని. స్టాప్ అయిందా? చూడు చూడు.
ఓకే
Right. So see here, we have created a vector using C function. So this is the vector, and we can also use different functions for creating vectors, as I said in the earlier. One is using the C function, using sequence function. So by using sequence function also we can create an vector. But sequence function makes your work very flexible, because for example, if I want to create a vector with a sequence of numbers 1 to 10, so then in this situation, simply without writing 1 comma 2 comma 3 like that, simply you can use this sequence function. See here, see the command highlighted on the screen. Y1 is equal to seq means sequence, within round brackets I am saying 1 comma 10. So which means that the y1 vector contains a sequence of values starting from 1 and ending with 10. So let's try to execute this command. So see here, y1 vector is created, and let's print this vector should contain numbers from 1 to 10. See here, got the vector. See here, the values are from 1, 2, 3, 4, like that up to 10. So like that, whenever you want to create a continuous series of numbers as a vector, without writing all the numbers separated by commas, you can write or you can use sequence function, give the lower bound and the upper bound, then automatically you get the values between the lower bound and upper bound into a vector. So this is a flexible way of creating a huge sized vectors which contains sequential values. Now let me try with one more vector. Here I am giving sequence 1 comma 10 comma 2. So 1 is the lower bound, 10 is the upper bound, and what about the 2? So 2 says that print the every second number, not all the numbers. Generally, when you say 1 comma 10, all the numbers will be printed. But when you say 1 comma 2, which means that skip the every second number, like that, or print the every second number. Let's try to execute this command. So see here, y2 vector is created, and now let me try to print this vector. See here, first value, the second value is skipped, third value, the next value is skipped, fifth, the next value is skipped, 7, the next value is skipped, 9, the 10th value is skipped. That means the every second value is skipped. That means we can create an array of odd numbers with this function. So 1 will be the lower bound, 10 will be the upper bound, and 2 will be the number you want to skip. So here again I'm writing the sequence, same sequence function in a different manner. See here, sequence 1 comma 10 comma length dot out is equal to 3. So what is this length dot out? So let me first try this function. Let me execute this function, and I will make you understand what is this length dot out. So now I have created the y3 vector, and now let me print this y3. See here, you have the values 1, the second value is 5, 5, and the third value is 10. That means you want to get finally 3 values in the entire vector with the lower bound, the upper bound, and the middle value. So see here, the 1 will be the lower bound, and the 10 will be the upper bound, and 1 11, and what is of this vector is 5.5. Like it, we got only 3 numbers. Let me try the same with 4. I am giving the length dot out as 4. So let me try what will happen now. So I am created the sequence, use the sequence function for creating vector, and I have given length dot out is equal to 4. And let me print this vector. See here, 1, 4, 7, 10. That means we got only 4 values in the vector. And when you say it as 5, you get only 5 values. Like that. And coming to the next way of creating vector, that is by using the colon symbol. You can also use the colon symbol to create a vector. See here, the command highlighted, z is equal to 2 colon 7. So generally my expectation is I will get a vector with the name z, and this vector contains the values like 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7. That means 2 to 7 values will be stored under vector z. Let me try, is it correct or not? And now I created a vector, and I'm now trying to print this vector. See here. So from 2 to 7, what are the elements? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So with these elements, now the vector is created. 2, 3, 5, 4, 7. So like that, we can use C function, we can use sequence function, also we can use a colon symbol like that. So we have three different ways. We have seen three different ways here to create a vector. Remember, one is C function, the second one is sequence function, the third one is using a colon symbol. Now, let us try to access the elements from a vector. So that means we have a vector with some set of elements, and how to access the individual elements from the vector. See here, for example, take this vector and name it x. X may be contains elements as 2, 5, 18, 1, 2, 12. Now, for example, how do I access the number 5? Or how can I access the number 1? How to retrieve? How to see? So for all these, you want to access the array first, then you want to access your required element. So let's try how can we try to access your element in R. For this, now I have created one vector with the name x. So x contains 2 comma 3 comma 18 comma 1 comma 2. Now I'm saying x of 2. So x of 2, that value 2 is in square brackets, which means that what happens when you write like this, the second element, that is the element in the second position, will be retrieved. So the second element in the vector is 5. So the 5 will be retrieved and shown on the screen. So let me try with this x of 2. See here, using the subscript operator, we got the value 5. Why? Because 5 is in the second place. For example, you say 4 here, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 as the output. So like that, we can retrieve or access the elements from a vector. Next, see one more way of accessing the elements. See here, again I have created one vector with the values 4, 8, 2, 1, 17. Now, I'm using a function called as combine in R programming. So, let me try to understand what is the functionality of combine function. So, I'm writing like this. I'm writing 3, y of 3. That means I need to access the third element, 1 and 5. So, let me first execute this and see what happens. So object y not found. Okay, cat using combine function y not found. Okay, 1 second. Maybe y is not created. Okay, now y is created, and let me try with this combine function. See here, using combine function, I got the output as 2, 4, 17. Again, 3, 1, 5. So output is 2, 4, 7. I have first accessed the third element. The third element is 2, and later I have accessed the first element. That is, first element is 4, and later I have accessed the fifth element. The fifth element is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So like that, we can move forward and backward to accessing the elements in the vector. So finally, I have mentioned three locations. 3 is 1, 1 is 1, and 5th is 1 by using these subscripts at a time. That means previously I have used only one subscript, but by using the combine function, here you can use the multiple subscripts. So this is the difference between the subscript operator, square brackets, and the combine function. So whenever you use the subscript operator square brackets, you have to specify only one element. That means the element you can access is only one. But whenever you use combine function, at a time you can access multiple elements from the vector. Right. Now I'm going to access the elements from the vector using the logical functions. So and or like that, greater than relations like that. So see here, for this I am creating one vector z. Z contains the numbers 5, 2, 1, 14, 4, comma 3. So let me create the vector z. So now the z vector is created. Now I'm saying z, z greater than 4. That means I need to print the values which are greater than the value 4. So what are the values which are greater than the value 4? One is 5 is 1 and 14 is 1. So the output should contain the values 5 and 14 only. So let me try. See here, the output contains only two elements, 5 and 14, because here I mentioned a condition and the elements which satisfy this condition are only printed in the output. So the condition is z greater than 4. That means the element should be greater than 4. Only print those elements in the output. So like that, we can also use some true or false logical operations here. Next, so we are moving to the next operation called as modifying a vector. That means you want to change the elements in a vector after the vector is created. Is called as a modification. Right. See here. Now again, I'm going to create a vector with the name x. X contains 2, 7, 8, 7, 8, 2. So let me first create this x vector. See here, x is created. Now see what I'm saying. X3 is equal to 1. So what is basically x3? X3 is 9. The third element in x3 is 9. But now I want to modify this 9 to 1. And here I'm saying x of 2 is equal to 55, which means that I want to change the second element 7 to 55. So like that, if you want to modify the elements, you can modify the elements of a vector by specifying the location, where or which element to be modified, and the new value for that element in that respective location. So now I'm saying x of 3 is equal to 1 and x of 2 is equal to 55. So x of 3, 1 means in the 9th place we need to get 1 in the output, and x of 2, 77 place I need to get the value 55. So now after modifying, let me print the vector. See here, 55. In the previous vector, 7 is in the second place. Now you got 55 in the second place. Like that, you can modify the elements of a vector. Next, modify using logical expressions. So let me try to show you how can I modify the vector by using the logical functions. So for that, here I am writing a command x greater than 5 is equal to 0. That means, which means that I want to modify all the elements in the vector which are greater than 5 to 0. That means all the elements which are greater than 5 will become 0. Let me try. So what are the elements greater than 5 in the list? So see here, what is the list? This is the list. 2, 7, 9, 7, 8, 9. So now I'm saying print the values which are greater than 5. Let me check the answer. See here, x of 5 is equal to 0. Now I have created the condition. Now I am going to print the vector after satisfying the condition. See here, I got 2 is one value, 0 is that a value? Because 7 is greater than 5. 1 second. So I got the values. That means change the values which are greater than 5 to 0. So in the vector, all the values which are greater than 5 will becomes 0. See here, you can see the values are changed to 0. So like that, using the logical expression also, we can modify the vector and modify the modify by specifying the position or elements. So sometimes we can also modify by saying the position of the element in the vector. So let me try with this function capital X equal to xc321. That means x vector is created. Now let me print the vector. The vector contains the values 1, 0, 2. So why the output is like this? Can you imagine? So now modifying the specifying positions x3 of 3 xc3 to 1. So what is 3 to 1? 3 is 1, so one value is printed, and 2, the two values previously 0 here, that's why I got 2, and the 1. So one value is previously 2, so we got 2 here. So like that we can modify by specifying a set of positions. Previously we have done by specifying only one position, but we can also at a time modify the multiple set of elements by specifying the position of the elements. Right. Coming to deletion. So how can we delete a vector? See here, now again I am creating a vector m with the elements 8, 10, 2, 5. So see here, vector is created with the elements 8, 10, 2, 5. Now let me print this vector. So we got the vector 8, 10, 2, 5. And remember in R, whenever you want to delete a vector, how can I delete a vector? So to delete a vector, you need to make the values null. That means you need to make all the values in the vector as null. That's why here I am saying m is equal to null. That means whatever the elements in the vector m, that is 8, 10, 2, 5, will become null, and since there is no value for null, nothing will appear. So this is the way of deleting a vector. So remember single sentence, whenever you want to delete a vector, you need to make all the elements of that vector as null. That's why I'm saying the vector name is m. I'm saying m is equal to null. So when you say like this, how many elements are there in the vector? All become 0, and which means that the particular vector is deleted. So see here, now I am going to create this m vector. So m vector is created, and now I am printing this vector. So 8, 10, 2, 5. Then let me delete this vector by using the m. So m becomes null here. Now again print the same m. See here, nothing will has came because m becomes null. That means there is no value for null vector, so nothing is printed on the screen. So like this also you can delete the vectors in R programming. Now let us go to the next topic, that is sorting elements of a vector. So we can use the sort function in R. So we have a built-in function called as sort. So sort, by using the sort function, we can sort the values of a vector in ascending or descending order. See here, I created a vector. I created a vector with x having values 8 to 7, 1, 11 to. Now I want to sort. For this sorting process, I told just now that you can use the sort built-in function. So I'm saying sort, in the brackets I'm giving the vector name, and once this command runs, the newly sorted vector will be stored under a vector. That means the sorted vector becomes a, and the previous default vector remains itself as x. Now let me execute this command, and after executing, that means after sorting, let's print the sorted vector. See here, previously the elements are 8 2 7 1 11 2 in a zigzag fashion. Now all the elements are sorted 1 2 2 7 8 11. So like that, we can use the sort function for sorting the ascending order the given values. And whenever you want to sort them in descending order, that means max value at the start and min value at the end. So for this, you need to give some additional attribute in the sort function, that is decreasing is equal to true. That means you need to get the values in a decreasing order. That means max to minimum. In ascending order, it is min to max, and whenever you say decreasing is equal to true, the values will be sorted in descending order. So let me try this. So now I have sorted the elements of vector x in descending order and stored in the variable b. Now let me try to print this newly sorted b in descending order and check whether they are sorted in descending or not. See here, see the output 11 8 7 2 1. That means now the values are sorted in descending order, which means that to sort this you need to remember this attribute decreasing. You need to say decreasing is equal to true. If nothing is given in the sort, the default sort in or is ascending. So if you write nothing, just to write sort vector name, you will get the values in an ascending order sorted, and whenever you say decreasing is equal to 2, you will get the values in descending order sorted. So like that, this is how we can uh, sort the values by using the sort function. Next, removing multiple values from a vector. So sometimes see this vector, see this vector exactly. This vector contains A, B, A, C, D as values. So whenever you see here, we have 1, 2 A's in this. And whenever you want to delete these multiple values, whenever you want to delete these multiple values, so let me try how can we delete. So now let me create first the vector. So vector is created, and let me first print the vector. See here, we have the values a, b, a, c, and d, and here we have a duplicate value called as a, and let me try these duplicate values. See here, I'm writing a command vc new means new vector. That means vec means this vector. Okay, vec percentage symbol not in percentage symbol not in a comma c. So if you didn't understand this command, don't worry, let me explain it by seeing the output. Now let me first execute this command, and let me check the output what we have got. So see here, b d, I'm only got the vectors with the values b and d, and see here the values a, that means the first one, the second one, and the c values, that means the third one, are deleted. That means you can remove multiple values at a time. If you say, if you say only c, only a, if you say only a, let me see what will happen. So only I'm keeping a here. So let me check with this. And I'm printing the vector. See here, I got B, C, D, and A is removed. That means the vector contains two A values, all A values are deleted. So like this, by using this percentage in percentage symbol, we can delete whatever the values you want. Right, next. Let me try with deleting the elements from the character vector. Up to now, we have seen the element deletion from the numerical vector. Let me explain you how to delete the elements from the character vector. For that, first create a character vector. See here, I am creating a character vector. Now the character vector is created, and this contains some characters. Now I want to delete MVVS is 1, and you want to delete SUPRS is 1. That means two values you want to delete. So I'm saying percentage in percentage not. So here also not is there. That means create a new vector from the existing vector which contains no values of MVVS and SPURS. That means simply you can say delete these values and create a new vector. So let me run this and let me print. See here, a new vector is given here which contains no values of MVVS and SPURS. That means whatever the values we mentioned there, those values are deleted from the vector. And let me try with some other examples. See here, remove elements from numeric vector. And see here, I have a numeric vector with the numbers 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 5 like that. This is a numerical vector. And now I am saying 1, 4, 5. That means create a vector with no elements of 1, 4, 5. That means the new vector will contain elements excluding 1, 4, and 5. So let me execute this command, and after that print the vector. See, you got a new vector with no elements of 1, 4, 5. For this, you need to remember this syntax. You need to write the first not symbol, then say the vector name, then say percentage in percentage, which means that create a new vector which contains no values. Not means no values of 1, 4, 5. That means create a vector with values excluding 1, 4, and 5. So like that, we can delete some elements or we can remove some elements from the vector. Then, so let continue on this deletion. See here, I have a vector x. Now observe this command. It is also a deletion command. Observe this command, what I have given. So not x percentage in percentage 2:10. Whenever I say a range, I'm saying that remove the values in the range of 2 and 10. That means the new vector will be created by removing the values which are from 2 to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that, values will be deleted. So I request all the participants to mute yourself. To mute yourself.
Rohit,
I sincerely request all the
Rohit,
participants to mute their
Rohit,
system.
make a mute.
To mute their system. Participants, please mute your systems. Participants, mute your systems.
Rohit, 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 mute your system. Rohit, Sorry, Rohit sir, Bande Ramit anta.
Second year Rohit. CSE అన్న. Sorry for the inconvenience. So let me continue. So now I want to delete the elements from the vector by specifying a range. So see here, x is a vector which contains a huge number of elements. Now see this function. So I'm saying not in 2 to 10. That means not in the range of 2 to 10. That means the new vector should contains the elements excluding the elements of the range 2 to 10. So let me execute this and print this vector. So see here 1, 12, 12, 13. That means all the elements in the range of 2 and 10 are deleted and the remaining elements are created in the new vector. And let me try some other type of removing. So we can also remove the values greater or lesser than a specific number. So see here, again I'm taking a vector and I'm saying the condition, see the condition x less than 3 and x greater than 10. That means remove the values which are less than 3 and greater than 10. Both type of values you can remove. So for this I'm executing this command and let me print the vector. See here, what are the values which are less than, that means 2, 1 like that, and greater than 10. That means 10, 11, 12 like that values are deleted from the vector. Now, and see here, now I'm going, this is something wrong. And see how to append the values in vector. How to append the values in vector or. Right. So append means adding the values at the end of the vector. See here, this is a new way of again creating a vector. So I'm saying REP means replicate. Replicate means same character will be replicated 5 times or 6 times. Here I said 5, which means that A is replicated 5 times and a vector is created with 5 A's. So I'm executing this command and I'm printing X. So see this, a vector is created with 5 A's. Next, I'm creating one more vector x1 with the previous x vector added with a new value called as b, because our goal is to append. That means to add a new value at the end of the existing vector. The existing vector contains 5 a's, and now let me append the new value b for the vector. For this, just write the C colon, that means C command, say the name of the old vector and the character you want to add. So x becomes the name of the old vector and b becomes the value which you want to append. So for this, return C x comma b. So let me execute this and print this. See here, the new value b is appended at the end of the existing vector, that is 5a's. So like that, you can also use the C command to append the values. Next, let me append the values to vector with append function. Previously, we have used the C function. Now I'm using the append function. I'm using the append function. See, so previously we have a vector x which contains 5a's, and now I want to add this b at the end of the 5a's. So previously I have used just C function. Now I'm using the append function, append x comma b. That means x is the old vector and b is the new value you want to add. So let me execute this and print the vector. See here, a contains, that means x contains 5a's, and now we have a new value b which is added for the vector using the append function, like that. Next, append values to a vector after the last position. That means after a given position, we can append the vectors. See here. So I'm saying here x3 is equal to x. That means I'm creating new vector x3 with the same values of x, that is 5a's. Then I'm saying length x3 plus 1 is equal to b. So add value of new character b after the entire length of x3 vector. The x3 vector length is 5. 5 plus 6 means that the sixth position add the b character. See here clearly. So x3 is the vector, existing vector. I am calculating the length. Length of x3 is 5 because x3 contains 5 a's. I am saying 5 plus 1, that means 6, which means that at the sixth position, I'm going to add the B character. So I'm saying length x3 plus 1 B. So see here, B is added of the sixth position. Like that, we can also use the particular position to append the vector. Now, append values to an empty vector. For example, see here, I'm creating a vector x empty by character function. Just I'm saying character two brackets, which means that nothing is mentioned here, which means that x empty is an empty vector. Let me execute this and print the empty vector. See here, we got nothing here. That means x is empty, right? For this empty vector, now I'm adding the B character by using the C function. What is the syntax C function? For appending, write the vector name and write the new character you want to append. So this I'm writing the vector name and the character you want to append. So control enter. Control enter. And I'm printing this. See here, now you got B. Previously it is empty, now you got B. So like that, you will get appending to the empty vector. So now these are the different vector concepts. Now without no delay, I'm going to shift to the more detailed operations on vectors. That is the second topic is operations on vectors. So we are going to see the recycling, combining vectors, arithmetic operations on vectors, logical indexing vectors, handling missing values, filtering and subsetting. Under operations on vectors, under operations on vectors, we will be covering these values. Right. So the first operation on vectors is recycling. So let me ask my ChatGPT what is recycling in R, because once you know recycling, then only you can know the concept of recycling. Recycling in R. So let me know what is in recycling. So see my screen. Right. So ChatGPT says that recycling is a concept in R that describes how operations involve vectors of different lengths are handled. So this is the main statement. So recycling is a concept which will handle the operations on vectors of multiple lengths. That means varying length. One vector may be of length 3, one vector may be of length 4, the other vector may be of length 2. So whenever you want to perform operations on these two different sized vectors, then the concept of recycling comes here. So what is recycling means? Recycling is a concept which is used for handling the operations on two differently sized vectors. Size means number of elements in the vector. So that is called as the recycling in R. So see here, I'm directly coming to the examples. So now I'm creating a vector 1 is equal to 1 colon 6. So now this is a new way of again creating a vector. So up to now we have seen 4 or 5 types of creating vectors. So this is the another way of creating vector. Now I'm creating vector 1 with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means vector 1 contains 6 elements. Now I'm creating vector 2 with only 2 elements. Now see here, vector 1 contains 6, vector 2 contains 2. That means two vectors are of different size. Now let us try to add these two vectors. That means I'm adding vector 1 plus vector 2. So what will happen? See here. So 2, 4, I got 2, 4, 6, 6, 8. So how we got these values? Because one vector may be of 6 size length and one vector may be of 2 size length. So, but we finally got the answer. How this happens? So now again come back to ChatGPT and see this example. So see here A is a vector which contains only 3 elements and B is a vector which contains 2 elements. That means A and B are of different size. Now let me add this. Now here like that I added vector 1 plus vector 2. So like that here I am adding these two differently sized vectors. So A plus B. Now let's see what happens. See this clearly. So the first value in the first vector 1 is added with the first value of B vector. That is one operation done. The second value of first vector is added with the second value of the second vector, that is 1. And with this the B vector is over, but we have one more element remained in the first vector. So take that remaining element 3 and again recycle. That means come back to the first element of second vector. That means 3 plus 4. So the vector which is having minimum size will be recycled again and again until the values of the length sized vector is completed. That means take 1 plus 2, 2 plus 5, B is done, but 3 is remaining. So again come back from 5 to 4, add 3 with 4. So like that, this is called as recycling. And again see one more example. So see here, A, that means a vector which contains 3 elements and B is a vector contains 4 comma 5 2 elements. Now I am saying A into B. What should happen? 1 multiplied by 4 comma 2 multiplied by 5, again recycle to 4 because one more element is there in the first vector, 3 multiplied by 4. So like that, whenever we are performing operations on various size length vectors, then recycling concept will make those operations happen like this. So see here, I'm taking one more vector 20 to 25. That means it contains 6 elements. And now I'm creating one more vector containing 4, 5, 6, 3 elements. So we have one element, one vector having 6, one element in having 3 elements. So we have different size. Again, the recycling concepts comes. Again the recycling concepts comes, and the vector which is having shorter length is recycled again and again until all the elements in the vector 1 is completed, as just we have seen in the chart GPT. So this is an example 3. Here also we are taking vector 1 which contains 5 values, and we are taking other vector contains 3 values, and again I'm trying to add do different size arrow. Here the vector 2 is in small size, which is recycled again and again until all the elements in the vector 1 is completed. So like that, we can use recycling operation whenever you want to perform operations on different sized vectors. This is one important operation on vectors in R. Next, coming to the normal routine operations on vectors, combining two vectors. So how can you combine two vectors? See here, there is a vector called as n with numerical values and other vector with character values. Now if you want to combine, you can use the C function. C function means concatenate, means as just now I said combine. So I'm taking the first vector 1 2 3 4, the second vector character vector. Now I'm saying C n comma s. So we got the combined vectors. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, Hadoop, Spark, Hive, Flink, like that. Two vectors are combined. Next, for example, you want to add the two vectors of same size. Here we are adding the vectors of same size. A contains two values, B contains two values. You can say simply A plus B. And also, if you want to subtract, you can say A minus B. 1 second, 1 second. So like that we can add, subtract, multiply, divide the vectors of equal size. If vectors are equal size, there is no issue. And whenever you have the vectors of variable size, that means different size, then the concept of recycling will occur. So with this, now the time is 3:41. Unfortunately, with some other delays on today, I'm not able to complete all the mentioned topics here. But don't worry, we will have a session, complete session. I hope there will be no delays on tomorrow. So without any delay on tomorrow, we'll try to start the session by 1:30. Pani sir, is it okay? Uh,
Okay, sir.
so please remember, all the students, please remember, tomorrow the session will start by 1:30 sharp, because 1:15 the lunch hour will be over. 15 minutes you will take for adjusting your laptops and mobiles, and by 1:30 sharp we will start the session. From 1:30 to 4 I will try to complete all the mentioned topics here. That means we have some other operations left in vectors. We need to see lists, we need to see data frames, as well as we need to see descriptive statistics. So all the topics I will try to cover in the tomorrow session, and I hope that there will be no delay for tomorrow. And also I thank all the participants, that means all my students joined and listened to me patiently. So thanks a lot for today, and we'll meet on tomorrow. And go safe. See you. Bye bye.
So thank you, sir. So all students. So our 2 days feedback form is posted in our WhatsApp group within few minutes. So all should be fill this feedback form compulsorily. So many
Feedback
students
form
are
is
not
available
filled.
in the CRGR's group, sir. Already, it is there.
So okay, sir. CRs and GRs share the corresponding Google form to all your students, and all must be filled day one and day two. Somebody not filled day one also, you need to fill the day one feedback form also. So compulsory you need to fill that feedback form. Okay, we will meet tomorrow at 1:30 p.m.